Good morning, good morning, good morning. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Today is December 13th, 2025. It is Saturday. It is the weekend. So we will be charting our trillion-dollar companies, maybe some others as well, but we'll definitely start with the trillion-dollar companies. And we'll see some new levels and see if we see any chart patterns. And today's show is brought to you by Investing Digital Interactive Flashcards, created by Matt Rich's 510 AI Music. I will put a link to the free, did you hear that right? Free interactive flashcards in the chat, and also when it's over, I will put it inside the comments. So give me a second to do that. I'm doing that now. All right, let me just label it right quick. Free investing interactive flashcards. All right, it's in the chat, y'all. So you can go to the chat and you can click it. All right, let's get down to business. All right, here's the chart. We're starting off with NVIDIA. This is on the weekly. Let's spread out the chart a little bit. It's on the weekly. So we did have a very bearish candle on the weekly on NVIDIA, following a pretty bullish candle from last week. So as you can see, I have a lot of levels on this chart. I do put monthly, weekly, daily resistance, support and resistance levels on my charts. And then I also put previous week high and low and previous day high and low. So what we can do is we'll find our previous week high level and we'll put it at the top of this wick. So every candle on this chart is a week, 1 week, and the top of the wick means price. This is the highest point that price went to during this week. As you can see, it went up to 185.16, but then it rejected. So when it comes to these candles, if it's a red candle, so the body of the candle is right here at 182.65. So that means the candle opened right here on Monday at 6:30. And then sometime during the week, it went up all the way to the 185.16. And then it closed right here at 175.02. So we'll find our previous week low level and we'll put it at this bottom wick. That means sometime during the week, price went to the bottom of this wick before it came up. So the previous week low level is 174.62. So sometime during the past 5 days, price went as low as 174.62. Okay, so now after we've changed the previous week high and low, then we go to the previous day high and low. As you can see, it was a very bearish candle yesterday on Friday. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our previous day low. So this is telling me that since this is the Friday's candle and it has the previous week low level right there, I'm just going to delete this previous day level because the week level is stronger than the day level. So on Monday, I won't have a previous day level on there. I will only have the previous week low level on there. And that's fine because on Tuesday, we'll just put the previous day candle from Monday. But we do have a previous day high level here at 182.84. Okay. So then we'll look for patterns. So we were in an uptrend in NVIDIA last week, but on Tuesday was the first red candle, followed by a red candle on Wednesday, a bullish candle on Thursday, but then a very bearish candle on Friday. So I do have a daily level here at 173.65. So we may bounce there, or we may bounce at the previous month low level, which is about 170, which was Tuesday, November 25th's lowest point. Okay, so that's what I like to do on the weekends, is update my previous low, previous week high, previous week low, and then also previous day high, previous day low. So let's take off my levels now, and then let's just check out the algo. It's probably going to have a sell signal because we had such a bearish candle on Friday, but let's just check it out anyway. Yes, it does have a sell signal from Thursday, November 20th. It was looking like it may reverse based on a 4-hour time frame that we had when I looked at it previously. As you can see here, we had a buy signal on Wednesday, December 3rd, and then they end up running up. The buy signal was at 183, and then it did end up running up to 190.98. But then on Wednesday the 10th, we got the sell signal on a 4-hour. So the entry on the sell signal was 181.28, and it did hit TP1 at 177.53, and now it's heading toward TP2 at 173.78, and TP3 is 171.28. So yeah, it looks like it's headed toward TP2 right now. So it's looking very bearish. The stochastic, which is a momentum indicator, is still green. So we'll see what happens when it comes to NVIDIA. I do have another indicator on here. It's called the Strat Assist FTC 2.0. So I'm just going to go over some numbers here on NVIDIA. So for the past 12 months, NVIDIA is up 172%. For the past 3 months, it's up 19%. For the past month, it's down almost 15%. For the past week, it's down 4.7%. And yesterday is down over 3%. All right, so let's go to our next most valuable company. Oh, also, let's just check out the market caps, because we do only deal with $1 trillion companies here. Well, we don't only deal with them, but that's the main ones we focus on, because those are the ones that are actually moving the GDP of the country and moving the market. Okay, so number one is NVIDIA, $4.6 trillion. No, excuse me, $4.26 trillion. Yes, that's what it is. And then our next one is Apple at 4.1 trillion. All right, so let's check out Apple. Let's go to, oh, actually, before that, let's check out NVIDIA on the line chart and see if there's anything else we need to do. No, it looks like it's just headed toward our daily support level that we talked about. Okay, so let's go back to Apple now. Let's go to Apple on a weekly. Now let's change our previous week high and low. Okay, so Apple, this is the weekly candle. It's looking, it looks like a doji, but it is a little bit bullish. And then let's put our previous week low level. It's going to be 273.97. And then let's put our previous high level. So just like NVIDIA, I had to delete the previous high level. Well, on NVIDIA, it was the previous day low. But on Apple, it's going to be the previous week high, because last week they hit an all-time high of 288.62. So let's go ahead and add our previous week high level on here, which is 280.04. All right. Oh, let me all right, now I fixed that. All right, now let's go to the daily chart. The daily chart, which means this is all the price movement that Apple did yesterday. It hit a high of 279.25 and a low of 276.83. It looks like a doji, so it was really just consolidating. And it is an inside candle compared to Thursday's candle. Okay, let's see if we need to add any new levels on here. No, not really. I mean, it did bounce here Tuesday, but no, we really like, when we put levels on here, we really wanted a bigger reaction. So when I put levels on the chart, I want a big reaction. Like, look at this right here. So this is a reaction from Tuesday. It rejected here at 275.31, and then ended up coming down to 266, and then it bounced here. So this is a big reaction from 266 all the way to 286. So I want a big reaction before I put a new level on there. So this is really just consolidation, so I'm not going to put a new level on there. So that's how I decide whether I'm going to put a new level on my chart. It's based on the reaction that price gave when it got to that level. Okay, so now let's check out the algo and see what the algo says on the daily. Algo on the daily. So this does look like it gave a buy on October 20th, and then it hit all three price targets. So actually, I'm supposed to, let me change this right quick, because my targets are supposed to be 1, 2, 3, and not the default 1.534. Okay, so now looking at it, as you can see, if the buy signal was here, that means the original entry point would have been right here at 262. So the good thing about the level up algo is after it reaches TP3, it gives you an additional entry point. So the additional entry point was here at 283.10. It didn't hit TP1. It actually ended up rejecting here at 288. And then once it got to Thursday, it actually gave a close the trade notification. So if you were going by the algo, you would have closed the trade on the second entry to the upside. But let's check out the 4 hour. and see if there's any other update. Yes, see, let's see. So on the daily, it was Thursday the 11th. They gave the close signal. So let's see. On the 4th, they gave a sell signal on the 4-hour. So if you were going by the 4-hour and you got into the sell on the 4th, then you would have hit TP1. You got very close to TP1 on the 8th, but you hit it on the 11th. So it's still in a sell on the 4-hour. Let's check the 1-hour. Yeah, it just looks like it's been consolidating. As you can see, this is a lot of sideways, just consolidation. You don't even want to get into a trade with something that's moving sideways like this. So, okay. We'll close that. And if we check out the stats from Apple over the past 12 months, it's up 33%, almost 34%. For the past 3 months, it's up 23%. The past month, it's up 3%. Over the week, it was just consolidating, so a little over break even. All right, our next company is Google. Let's check out the market cap of Google. Google's market cap is 3.7 trillion. Big dog. Google is definitely a big dog. As you can see here, Google is in the gap. So on Friday, on Monday, Google had gapped up from Friday. So it gapped up over the weekend from November 21st to November 24th. And now price has slowly came down and now it's in the gap. So most gaps get filled, probably over 90%. So what I'm thinking is, what's likely is once this gap gets filled, then Google can start heading back to the upside if the market is turning back bullish, because it's definitely been in a slow downtrend right here. All right, so let's check out the weekly, and we need to move the previous week low level here. So the lowest point that Google hit this past week was 305.58, and the highest point Google hit was 321.37. All right. Let me just put, excuse me right quick. Give me 1 second. So I'm just putting my Twitter feed up here just to give us, put something in this blank space. So, okay, it has Tesla on there and also Google Gemini. 2 companies that I am invested in. So we'll let both of those stay in that blank space. All right, back to the chart. So we want to be exact as far as price. Okay, so we changed our 2 previous weekly levels. So now we'll go to the daily levels. So remember, like NVIDIA, Friday was the low of the week. So we're going to delete the previous day low because the previous week low is at the same level. But we do have a previous day high that we can put here on the Friday's candle, which was 314.88. Okay. So now we did that. So the next thing we do, we go to the line chart and we see if there's any big reactions. This is a pretty big reaction here from 320 to 309. because as you can see, this was also a reaction of price here on Friday the 28th. It reacted from 320 to 315, and then it came back up close to the same level, but not the same exact level here at 321. So that means there's a lot of sellers in this area right here. So let me just show you which one is it? A quick rectangle. Which one is a rectangle? I'll just show you with the gap. Oh, I think I can do it with this. Okay. So it's a lot of sellers in this area. So look, price came up here, sold off, sold off, sold off. So it's a lot of sellers up here. So it's gonna be tough for Google to break to get above this level, but that's fine. That's part of the game. Okay, so Google is in the gap. All right, so let's check out the algo. See what the algo has to say on Google. Okay, so Google has been in a buy since October 16th. That's very nice. That's almost 2 months. So I'm sure this may be the third time that the algo has given an additional entry. So the latest entry was at 318.58. I'm not sure which candle, because it's not clear here, but we did get a close here on Thursday the 11th, and we did get the, what is this called? I forget the name of this thing, but it flipped. As you can see, it was going to the upside, and now it has twisted, and now it's headed toward the downside. So that's also an indicator of where price is headed. We are still bullish on the trend, but we do have MACD momentum to the downside, stochastic to the downside, but RSI is still bullish. Okay, so let's check out the 4 hour for smaller time frame. So we did get a sell on the 4 hour on Monday, December 8th, and had you entered so it looks like they got to close on the same day. So it was really consolidating up in here, but it's currently still in the sell on the 4 hour. The entry was 307.84. So you're just down. If had you taken this trade, because we did get a close here, so it was really just consolidating, and now it's moving in the direction again of the algo. So you just be down $1, less than $1. So if you still want to get into this trade, you can, because the entry was 307.84. Your stop loss is not till 315, which you would need a candle closure above 315.47 in order for this to flip to the upside. So your first target for the downside on the 4 hour is going to be $300.21 for Google. All right. So next company is, also before we do that, the 12-month returns for Google is 36%. 3 months is 38%. 1 month is 13%. 1 week is minus 3%. And it was red on Friday for minus almost 1.5%. Next company is Microsoft. Let's check out the market cap. Microsoft, 3.5 trillion. 3.5 trillion. One of the biggest companies in the world. All right, so let's check out our levels here. Let's go to the weekly. so we can adjust our weekly levels. Okay. Microsoft previous week high is going to be at 492.34, and the previous week low is going to be at 475.07. Okay, so we check out the daily. On the daily, previous day low, which was Friday, is going to be 476.37, and the previous day high from Friday is going to be 482.46. Oh, y'all just heard this new song just came on. So this music is brought to you by Matt Rich's 510 AI Music. I make them slaps using AI, using Suno. I got instrumentals. If you're a rapper, if you're a singer, I can make any type of beat that you want. It's hip hop, it's R&B, soul. If it's EDM, I make it all. I got slaps in all different genres. If you want music for Christian music, I got all type of songs. I got probably over 200 songs that's on YouTube right now. If you want to check out my YouTube music page, I got a lot of different playlists that you can check out. My hip hop playlist is called Bars and Breakthroughs. My R&B type is called Motivational Melodic Music. And then my Christian rap is called Messiah Mode Music. And my Christian with more of a melodic style to it is called Melodic Messiah Mode Music. So you can check that out if you want to check out some of my slaps. All right, Microsoft next. We moved the previous day high level and previous day low levels on there. So next thing we do is go to the line chart and see if there's any big reactions from price that we need to put on here. Okay. So we do have this big reaction here from November 21st. Yeah, it's been a lot of movement in the past couple weeks with Microsoft. So I do have a level here that got a big reaction Wednesday, December 3rd. As you can see, once it hit 477.75, it did end up bouncing all the way up to 492. So we can go ahead and put a daily level right there. And I do expect price to have a big reaction once it gets to this level. Also, let's just round it to the nearest cent. So it's going to be 477.70. Wait a minute, let me move it up. Let me get it perfect. That is 477.75. All right. As you can see, when you stretch out the chart, it gives you a more precise price point. So we did have, this is a pretty big $5 move from the last time it came up to here. So I think this also deserves a level. So let's put that level on there as well. 483.50. Okay. As you can see, once it hit that level, it rejected all the way down to 478.53, which was the close from Friday. Okay, let's go back to the candles. As you can see, we do have a gap here above. So on Tuesday, December 9th, price gap down before it opened on Wednesday. and now we have this gap here. So it did almost halfway fill the gap on Thursday, but it did not close above there. So that's why it's good to wait until the candle closes before you jump into a trade, because you may have thought, yeah, once it goes into the gap is just going to fill. But a lot of times when it comes to gaps, it will fill halfway and then come out. And then it's going to take another try before it actually fills the gap. Okay, so let's check out the algo on the daily. Okay, so the algo has been in a sell since Thursday, October 30th. And as you can see, normally once you get a sell signal, then it enters on the close of that candle. So the first entry was at 525.94. As you can see, price, the new entry level is down here. So it hit all three take profits. So now this is the second entry point at 497.10. You did feel some pressure when it came up, and you really would have been closed out because it came down, but it did not hit TP1 before you felt a lot of pressure. Oh, this is called a ribbon. That's what I couldn't think of earlier. As you can see here, the ribbon switched from an uptrend to a downtrend, and it's been trending down ever since. So that's another way you can see what is the direction that price is going, by the direction of the ribbon. Okay, so had you gotten in at the latest entry point, you would have hit all three take profit levels: 488 for TP1, 479 for TP2, and 471 for TP3. Okay, so then once price start reversing, it gave you a close notification here on Monday, December 8th. So after you get that close, see, it had a gap. It had a gap here. So yeah, the algo did a great job on this one. Okay. Let me do a quick ad. So if you check into the chat right now, I did put my new free interactive flashcards that are for beginner investors. Let me just give you a quick preview. So this is my flashcards. So I have these flashcards available. All you have to do is click the link in the chat. And if you're not watching this live, if you're watching it later, I'm going to put a link in the comments. So this is what it is here. Investing flashcards, stock market basics, beginner flashcards for new investors. So there's a bunch of different decks here. So the first one is stock market basics Q&A. You can see the question right here. What is the stock market? So all you do is hit flip, and then it gives you the answer. The stock market is a place or system where people buy and sell pieces of companies called stocks. For example, you go to the stock market and you buy one share of Apple. Now you own a tiny piece of Apple, and you can benefit if the price goes up over time. And then there's going to be 10 questions in this deck. And you can see your progress bar here turn a little bit green, and it turns a little bit more green for every question you go to. So we go to card number 2. The question is, what is a stock? You hit flip to give you the answer. A stock is a small ownership piece of a company. Example, if Tesla has millions of shares and you own 10 of them, you own 10 tiny pieces of Tesla. Okay, so you just hit this green drop down menu, and it can take you to our second set of questions. What is a brokerage account? You hit flip to give you the answer. A brokerage account is an account you open with a financial company or app that lets you buy and sell investments like stocks, ETFs, indexes, and crypto. For example, Robinhood, E-Trade, Vanguard, and Fidelity are all brokerage platforms you can use to invest. And then we have 10 questions in this deck as well. And then underneath that, we have the ABCs of investing. A, it's not for Apple. Most likely, if you were teaching a child as ABCs, A will be for Apple. But if you want to teach them investing, A can be for asset. We'll flip it over, and it says asset. An asset is something that has value and can grow or generate income. Example, stocks, cash, real estate, or small business are all assets. And then there's 5 cards in this deck, just in case you have ADD and you can't focus for a long time. I just gave you 5 cards. But if you can focus for a long time, then you could go down here to the master deck, which is A through Z, which is 26 cards. All right. So that is my quick commercial for the free interactive flashcards for beginners that want to learn about investing. Because really it just comes down to the terms. Like, I ask a lot of people, why are you not invested in the stock market? And they be like, well, I don't really know anything about it. And so when I start telling them about it, I start using all these terms that they don't know what it means. So I created the flashcards. So when it's time for people to learn about the market, they can just look at the flashcards. And then once they learn the terms, then they'll be able to get a better understanding. Because it is kind of like a whole new language. So, yeah, that's that. Next company, Amazon. Okay, let's check out Amazon on the company's market caps. So Amazon is $2.4 trillion. Okay, so let's bring up our levels. So let's check out Amazon on the weekly. Okay, here's the weekly level. So what we want to do is we want to move our weekly level here, previous week high. We want to move it right to the top of this wick right here. And the top of the wick is 232.43. And the bottom of the wick is 225.11. Okay. So then we go to the daily. And then, like some of the other charts, we had our Friday candle be our low of the week. So what we're going to do, we're going to delete the previous day low, and we'll wait for Tuesday to bring it back on Monday's previous day low. But we do have a previous day high here, and that's going to be 230.08. Okay. So after we do that, then we'll check the line chart. No, I don't see a big enough reaction in price to put a new level on here. So let's see. How does Amazon look? It kind of looks like a Head and Shoulders. If you were to, let me see. I don't know. I don't know how to draw like that. I only know how to draw with this, with the info line. I don't usually be drawing too much. Let me see. I used to see. I've seen people draw on the chart. Well, I'm not gonna draw because I don't usually be drawing on there. So I'm gonna just tell y'all. So this may be the left shoulder here. I'm gonna just show you on here. And this may be the head. And this may be the right shoulder. So a Head and Shoulders pattern is very bearish. So if so, Amazon may continue to fall till we get back to our previous month low here at 215, and ultimately it may come down to 211.13 before it completes the head and shoulders pattern and can start trending back to the upside. Okay. All right, let's check out the algo. Oh, one thing I forgot. I forgot on Microsoft was the levels here. Was the percentages for the year. So let me just do Microsoft right quick. Percentage for Microsoft for the past 12 months is up 12%. For the past 3 months is up 4%. For the past month is down 5%. Okay, so I just wanted to say that because I do want to cover all that for all our $1 trillion companies. Okay, now let's check out Amazon on the daily, on the algo. Okay, so we did have a buy here on the algo on December 1st at $233.88. It did hit all three take profits. So if you were following the algo, you would have hit all three, and it's been reversing ever since. So I think once we go to the 4 hour, we'll see that sell signal. Okay, so here's the sell signal here on Thursday the 4th. Oh, actually, here's the newest sell signal here on Friday. Oh, so we did print a sell signal on Friday. So if you would like to get into this trade to the downside, the algo is saying enter at 226.32, and your first target will be 221.62. Target number 2 is 216.92. Okay, so Amazon for the past 12 months is up 44%, which is phenomenal. The past 3 months has been just consolidating pretty much at break even. The past month is down 8%. Okay. So I do got to use the bathroom right quick. So I'm going to play y'all this song. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back very quickly. Just got to use the bathroom and wash my hands. So I'm going to play y'all one of my AI songs. I'll be making them slaps. And let's see. Yeah, so it's a lot of people that be hesitating to get into the market because of fear. And based on the data, we don't need to be fearful when it comes to the market. Because the market gives us the opportunity to change our lives and change our families' lives financially. So here's a song called Opportunities Expiration. Because if you wait too long, it's going to take you a lot longer to make money in the stock market. So I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm just going to play it while I go use the restroom. Here it is.
Time don't pause just cause you scared to leap. The blessing's knocking, but you have to sleep. Feel it in your gut, that holy cue. But if you don't move, it won't wait for you. You got dreams, but you stuck in your phone, scrolling missing blessings you could have owned. God said move, but you said not yet. Now the moment's gone and there's regret. He gave the plan, but you stuck in doubt. Talking faith to let him fear shut it down. This life don't wait, it don't rewind. You either step or get left behind. You say you trust, but you ain't moved yet. Still stuck in what ifs and quiet regret. Every maybe later pushes fade away. Opportunities not promised another day. Opportunities got expiration date, it won't wait. Don't fear it won't sit and wait. Listen and build God's vision instead. A closed mouth don't ever get fed. Faith without action is dressed up doubt. You say you believe, then prove it now. That $1 million dream, it's real, not fake. But only if you move before it's too late. You got the gift, but won't unwrap it. Talking one day while blessings pass and connections come, but you second guess. Overthinking what God already blessed. Doors open wide, but you hesitate. Now the moment's gone, too little, too late. The truth is simple, don't complicate. Faith is action, fear just waits. No more stalling, no more shame. You were born to rise, now stay the same. You can't grow if you won't begin. Don't let doubt keep you caged.
All right, I'm back. So that song is called Opportunities Expiration. If you want to check out the whole thing, you can go on my YouTube Music or my YouTube channel, which is the channel you're watching this on. And you can go to playlist, and it's under Melodic Messiah Mode Music. It's very deep. It's not only for financial purposes, but it fits in a lot of parts of life where people are hesitant. All right, so let's get back to our instrumentals. There we are. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Next company is Tesla. Tesla. All right. So Tesla's market cap is, they've been passed up actually. Broadcom is now number 6. They passed up Tesla. Okay, so we're going to change the order on this, because this is the top 10 order. Okay, so we go Broadcom, Meta, Tesla, TMC. Broadcom, Meta, Tesla, TSM. What the fuck? Oh, excuse me. Why is that shit not changing, bro? I can't change the order on here? I don't know. But I move AVGO though. Y'all see this? What is going on with TradingView? Oh well, I ain't even gonna trip, bro. I don't know what's going on with TradingView. It don't make no sense. Why can't I just click on that shit? I mean, why I can't readjust? Why I can't reorder? Hold on. Maybe that is just tweaking right now. There we go. Alright, I'm like, no, it's still tweaking. Cause look, I'm moving. It let me change the order for AVGO, but after that, it's tweaking. It makes no sense. It's not letting me change the order on my watch list. What you got going on, TradingView? Y'all gotta get it together, man. You got some bugs up in there. Alright, anyway, let's get back to it. Weekly level, AVGO. Let's see where we at. AVGO did hit an all-time high this week. So we're going to delete the previous week high. And we will put the previous week low at 355.36. This is a huge red candle. Wow. Oh yeah, they had earnings. Remember AVGO had earnings on Thursday. They did beat on the top and the bottom, That's revenue and earnings. But this is a monster red candle. Monster red candle. So, because remember, it sold off crazy. Like it had popped right after earnings initially, but then when they did the guidance, it just fell dramatically. Oh, we got a gap right here. We got a new gap. Okay, so as you can see here, these are some old gaps. This gap has been filled, so we can delete that. And then we have to put our new gap here. We do have this gap, but it was just overtaken by this new gap, so we can delete that one. We put our gap here. All right, so we got the new gap. Okay, now we can go to, we can add the previous day high, previous day low. So like some of the other ones, Friday was the low, so we're not going to add the previous day low. We're actually going to turn this into the previous day high. And then we'll move it to the top of this wick. All right, looking good. Excuse me. And then we'll go to the algo. Oh, it's definitely going to be big sell. Big sell with that. Yeah, so without it, there's no way it's not going to have a sell with this type of red candle. This is a super bearish candle. So it does have a sell here on a daily. So on Monday, if you're looking to get in, according to the algo, you could get in on Monday at the open. And your target will be 337.86. Okay, let's check out the 4 hour. Okay. So this was the initial sell here on the 11th. As you can see, it ran up in after hours and came down hard. So this looks like the second entry point for the sell. So the entry is at 361. If had you gotten into this entry point, you'd be up almost $4 here. And the target is 334.27. I think that's the same target. Oh, it's a few dollars away. Okay. So that is Broadcom. Broadcom is up 112% on the year. It's up 20% in the past 3 months. And it's up 8% in the past month. It's down 10% in the past week because it was down 11% on Friday. So just imagine how much it was up when it was up here. You feel me? But man, it happens though, man. This is the market, man. Things just don't run up. They run up, they fall. 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 You know that saying, takes the stairs up and the elevator down. All right. Next company is Meta. Let's check out the weekly. No, let's check out the market cap. 1.6 trillion for Meta. 1.6 trillion. Okay. So on a weekly, let's find our level. Here is the weekly. Previous week high and previous week low. Previous week high is 7/11/26. Previous week low is 6/38/55. Then we can go on the daily. Wow, look at this price movement. Meta at its peak yesterday almost was basically halfway into the gap to the upside before it ran down and ended up closing at 644. But at the high of the day, it was at 711. Can you believe that? Talk about volatility. Goodness. Okay, so we're going to take off the previous day high because Friday's high is the weekly high. And then the weekly low as well. Okay, so we can take off this previous day low. All right. So let's check out the line chart. Do we have any big price movement? This is pretty big here. From 673 to 640. Yeah, that's a $30 move. So we can put a new daily resistance level right here because you can see how much price actually moved after it rejected that level. It moved $30. So this is a strong resistance level here. We do have a level already here at the bottom. This is a chop right here, so I'm not going to put a level here. We do have a 20% off level right here, so this is going to act as support as well. Okay, let's check out Meta on the algo. How long we been streaming, y'all? I don't know. Let me see. I can't tell. Alright, well, let's just keep going then. Alright, Meta on the daily. Meta had a strong buy on Tuesday, November 25th. Entry at 636.22 before it gapped up on Tuesday the 2nd to the 3rd. So it actually gapped up over TP1 and you hit TP2. So if you were still in this trade, you felt some pressure here after hitting TP2. It definitely pulled down for 4 days before it ran up to the upside again. So if you stayed in, you hit TP3. Okay, let's check out the 4 hour. Okay, Meta on the 4 hour, we did get a sell here. This looks like the second entry because entry here would have been at 656. So the second entry for this trade has really just been chopping up in this area. So yeah, I wouldn't get into no trade for Meta right now because it's just been chopping. Well, let me check on the daily actually. Okay. Yeah, I don't like all this movement. But the ribbon is still going to the upside. So but Friday, yeah, you know, sometimes these Friday candles, they be messing up the algos when the candles are just so big. So that's Meta for you. Next is Tesla. Tesla market cap 1.5 trillion. All right, let's check out the weekly. Okay, so Tesla on the weekly, the high is 463 and the low was 435. Okay, then let's check out the daily. So the daily Friday's high was the week high, so we can delete that till Tuesday. And then the previous day low is 441.65. So while all of our other $1 trillion companies were to the downside, Tesla actually had a great day on Friday. It was up 2.7%. Okay, let's check out our line chart. We do have a level right here. It may reject. We do have a monthly level right here. So, yeah, I don't see anything. I don't need to add any new levels here. Oh, I did forget one thing on Meta. So Meta for the year is up 66%. The past three months is down almost 0.5%. The past month is down a little over 1%. Just want to cover that. All right, Tesla for the year, Tesla's up 61%. For the past 3 months is up 49%. For the past month is down 5.5%. All right, let's check out the algo. The algo on a daily, we had a strong buy here on December 3rd. Entry point was 446.74. It did hit TP1 on Friday, so you'd have been good had you gotten into that trade. You did feel a little pressure. At one point, you were down $11 from the entry. Well, you know how Tesla trades. Very volatile. So. It did not hit the stop loss, so you would be good. Let's check out the 4 hour. See if we got anything. Okay, Tesla on the 4 hour. We do have a buy here from Tuesday, December 9th. Entry being 448. You did have a close indicator here, so you may have been scared because the algo knew that price was about to pull back. So it did end up pulling back $8 from the entry. So if you didn't get out, because it didn't flip, it did give you a close signal, but it didn't flip to sell. So had you stayed in, you would have hit TP1 on Friday. So still looking bullish. All right. And we're going to skip SPY and, well, let's do TSM first. All right. TSM on a weekly. Yeah, this had to be like an hour. I'm getting tired. Been talking for an hour. Okay, so TSM actually hit an all-time high this week. So we don't need our previous week high level. It's not on here. So that's good. We can't put a previous week low level on here. Okay, and then daily. The daily is the previous week low, so that means the lowest point of the week was on Friday. This is a monster red candle, down 4.2%, down almost $13. Monster red candle. So we're not even gonna look on the algo on there because this candle is so monstrous that it be throwing the algo off. But we can put a previous day high on here. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting tired. We gonna end the show after TSM. Alright, so TSM previous day high, 304.27. It did close at 292. Nah, we'll do Berkshire. We'll do Berkshire as the last one. We can do SPY and the Qs tomorrow. Alright, so TSM on a year is up 93%. Past 3 months is up almost 23%. The past month is down a little over 3.5%. Okay. It wasn't a strong buy on the algo. Had you got in from the notification on Wednesday the 3rd at 295, you would have hit TP1. Very, very close to TP2. Very close to TP2. It's since pulled back. And if we check on a 4-hour, we'll definitely be in the sell. So here's the sell here. On the 11th, it did get a close notification, but it ended up continuing to trend in that direction. The entry was 301, so you would have been under pressure. Just $5. But if you didn't close, you stayed in, you would have hit TP1. And now you're headed toward TP2. And TSM market cap is 1.5 trillion. And Berkshire B, $1 trillion. Company number 10. Let's check out the weekly. Let's put these levels on here. Okay, Berkshire on the weekly. Yeah, we just started checking out Berkshire, so we don't have any levels on here. Oh, actually we do. My fault. I had hit the levels because I was doing the algo. Okay, so previous week high 503. Previous week low was Friday, so we'll change this to from previous day low to previous week low. And then we'll check out the daily. Berkshire is very close to all-time highs. All-time high is 516.85. Previous day high at $500.07. Previous day low is 494.52. Do we need to put any? Yeah, this is a big reaction from 490 to a $9 move. That's a pretty big reaction, actually. Yeah. Let's see. 513. Oh, this is not the all-time high. Wait a minute. Oh, I haven't adjusted the all-time high since the last time that I marked this out. So, actually, the all-time high, I stand corrected. The all-time high for Berkshire is 542.07. Okay, so the weekly is correct, high and low, and then the daily. Oh, it looks like we had a double top right here. Top number 1, top number 2 before the downtrend. Okay, we could definitely put a level right here. 513. It is a weekly. Yep. Okay, so let's put this weekly level here because we did have a big price reaction. Put it at 90 to round it down. And then check out the daily. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty big reaction here. So we can put a daily level right there. As you can see, it has, look, it bounced right here, bounced right here, bounced right here. So that is a good level. And then let's check out, should we put one at this rejection right here? Yeah, let's do it because once price hit this level, it went from 504 to 490. So that's $14. So that's definitely a very big reaction to price. So let's go ahead and put that on there. 540, 504.40. All right, and check out the algo. Yeah, we've been streaming for a long time. So normally I'm not talking when I'm making all these adjustments. So it usually goes way faster, but because I'm explaining it, then it's taking a long time. So I just want to give y'all a heads up on that. So on a daily, we had a strong sell on Monday, December 8th. The entry point was 497.23. Had you got in, you would have hit TP1 the next day, which was a $6 move. It has since retraced back to the upside and is close to the entry point again. Check out the 4 hours, see if there's anything. It does have a buy on the 4 hour from Friday. Entry point 498. It did hit. Well, it was only a $1 move to TP1. So yeah, that's too small. I don't like that. But one thing we can do before we leave, thank y'all for joining us. I just want to show you the free interactive flashcards you can get for free. If you check out the chat here, and I'm also going to put in the comments as soon as the stream is over, you can click the link and check out my free interactive flashcards. So it has the ABCs of investing. So the same way you would teach a toddler or somebody who's learning a new industry, the terms that are used a lot. A for asset. Click flip and it'll give you the definition. An asset is something that has value and can grow or generate income. We did those earlier in the show, so let's go here. Diversification. Diversification means spreading your money across different investments to reduce risk. An example of diversification would be owning Apple, owning Tesla, and an S&P 500 ETF, which would make you a lot more diversified than owning just one stock. ETF, Exchange Traded Fund. What is that? If you don't know, just hit flip and it'll let you know. An ETF is a basket of many stocks or bonds that you can buy just like one single stock. So an example of that is SPYG, is a low-cost ETF holding many large U.S. growth companies. This gives you instant diversification. So if you want to know how to be diversified, you could just buy ETF and you'll be diversified, especially one like SPYG. Actually, I own SPYG. It's one of my biggest holdings in my portfolio, and it's done very well. Okay, so how to use these flashcards outside of hitting flip and next to take you to the next card. As you can see, we're on card number 6 of 26. You can click on this deck here, on this scroll down, this drop down menu, and you can look at the questions. So we do have 2 10 card questions. So this one, we did go over that question earlier, so we didn't go over this one. So this is card number 2 and deck number 2 of Stock Market Basics. It says, how much money do you need to start investing? Hit flip. You can start investing with any amount, even just a few dollars. Many brokers offer fractional shares, so you don't even need to buy a full share. For example, if you buy the ETF XLG and the cost of one share is $60, you can put $20 on it and you'll buy 1/3 of one share. That means you'll be buying a fractional share of XLG, which costs $60, but you bought $20 worth. So if you buy $20 worth 3 times, then you'll have one full share of XLG. All right. So that is our free investing flashcards for stock market basics for beginners. And you can check those out right now. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. This show is brought to you by Matt Rich's 510 AI Music. That is this channel you are watching. That is these instrumentals you are listening to. I created those using Suno. And I created the investing flashcards that you can have for free. I created those with ChatGPT. So hopefully you found this show beneficial. You learned a little bit on how to chart, and you put some support and resistance levels on your chart. You checked out the algo, and you've seen how that works. So peace, blessings, financial freedom. I will live stream tomorrow because we didn't get to SPY or QQQ. And then we can get to some other tickers as well. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.